Alrighty, after a slight mishap joining this lobby from me, we are on round 3 of the Supreme Trials Shadowverse Worlds Beyond tournament, hosted by HDL Salvatore. It looks like our contestants this round are going to be CM ChiPy. I don't know if I say it wrong, I apologize, versus EMT Void. And we're going to have Haven and Sword versus Haven and Rune, and I do believe there's going to be... let me check the deck list for Void's Rune real quick. I have some information out on the side here. But we are going to see Sword versus Rune, in fact. So both players declining to show their Haven gameplay right off the bat. And we're loading in. Okay. Alright, so the Rune deck, I guess, was what I was going to try to look for. It is looking like the sort of spell boost Earthright hybrid rune. And this is a pretty standard... Oh, let me fix my music here. Alright. I was playing with my settings. Okay. So, we're gonna go into Sword versus Rune. I think this is gonna be a rough matchup for Sword, historically, although the Rune list being more greedy can, or a little less more fair in some cases, can make it give Sword more opportunities. We're gonna see Pascal's Dance on turn 2 from Void. Is it Void? Yes. Team Enmity, which is what EMT stands for. Melvi on turn 3 with the Witch's New Brew, and ChiPy has chosen to skip 2 turns. Probably going to play something this turn, I assume. I would guess the Phil Dao or the Hound here. You really want to, like... I'm actually going to choose to play the Samurai to trade off. What's interesting there was that a Zirconia play could have actually been really strong there from ChiPy, but it is a high-risk play. Oh, also would have been cleared by the Brew plus Sagelight Teaching, so it is how it is. We're gonna see, oh, we're just going full hand here, but notably, second Angrea drawn here for EMT Void. I'm not sure what he's digging. Oh, he does have the Declimb in hand, so this is like Earthright spell boost. Okay, and Zirconia evolved to buff the Phil Dao here from ChiPy, very strong here, and probably going to demand an Angrea. No, actually, we're going to see the Sagelight Teachings into Melvi to clear. Okay. That is kind of an option that you didn't have. Well, you would have had this before, but it was easier to stack up the Earthrights in this list, so a full clear rather than relying on the ward from Angrea. Coming out from EMT Void. Gonna be able to... And, yeah, that's gonna really put a damper on the offensive pressure here from ChiPy. And Angrea, with the freshly drawn Flames of Chaos, that is going to be... Right, that's going to be a lot of clear power out here for Void. Going to use the Angrea Evolve, probably to get rid of the... Oh, 3 of the Knights. Doesn't care too much about leaving the Magus on the board, since she has the least attack power of what is on ChiPy's board. And we're going to see what ChiPy is going to go for here. Looks like they're gonna look for the Amelia to dig. Maybe thinking about what Amelia can find. Amelia now notably will not clear Angrea here. The Hounds are a clear for Angrea, but since they're not officers, they don't gain ward. That's probably okay. The Magus will poke for 1 here. Trying to conserve Evos, as Sword is often going to do, but here is turn 7, and if you've been playing ladder, you know what that means. Huon and their insane board vomit of stats is going to come out now. Choosing not to use the super evolve. I think saving evolves for Norman is one of the new patterns that Rune can go for, and that means Sword is going to now go for the Amalia. Will they super evolve this Amalia? That is going to leave the most wards on the board. Like, trading here obviously is something you can do, but that's really weak in terms of leaving a board. So trade out, leaving 2 wards. Still not... Oh, normal evolve, not a super evolve. I don't know if I like that because this is a lot easier to clear for Rune. But... especially with, yeah, Flames of Chaos, in fact, is just a full clear. So the super evolve would have averted that, although this Anne and Greya would have followed up. But, like, you would kind of do want to trade Evo for Evo against, in general, as Sword, I think, is your plan. So I think counting Rally here, 17 out of 20 on Gildaria. But here's the thing, right? The end game is really what's terrifying here that Rune has access to. This Dimension Climb, you know, with how many spells played. Let's see, with 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spells played, and this Dimension Climb has been spell boosted 14 times, right? It's actually kind of absurd. Anyway, so the second Amalia is going to come out with a super evolve on the Knight. I don't think... I mean, this makes a stronger ward, but the Amalia is more valuable than the wards, right? The Amalia is what buffs your boards. I don't know if I like this line. And also, William, right? William is a card who looks at the highest, and also, well, this is going to get cleared either way because of the Wind Blast. I think the idea was to diversify the board against Wind Blast, Stormy Blast, rather. But, like, it's not going to serve that purpose in this case. And now, 2 of these barrier golems is actually crazy from Norman. Followed by probably the Stormy Blast on the Amalia. The super evolve is, yeah, what can Sword do about this? 1 ignominious samurai can clear. Albert cannot get through this. Gildaria looks pretty good into this situation. But she doesn't have a great follow-up. Okay, so the free super evolve on Gildaria slashes twice, but still doesn't fully clear? Will we see the samurai come out then? Most likely, I guess, but... yeah, no samurai actually, I think. Okay, I can see, I mean, this is very efficient in terms of resources, but... and threatens lethal, actually, not a bad push here. Oh, and the samurai thrown in? Just as an annoying follower. Okay, so this is actually going to put pressure on Void to heal. But here's the thing, right? Void has this Dimension Climb that he's been holding for, like, the whole game. And he's going to have a chance to use it here. Probably going to just dump as many play points as possible. Gonna use William, Super Evolve, get the Dimension Climb down to 0, and I assume he's actually gonna just do nothing from here. Yeah, with the 0 cost climb in hand, he's now going to be able to just use it next turn. This is a bit of an Albert turn as well, and that's kind of why I didn't like using the Bane the previous turn there from... but I suppose the Bane was supposed to be a setup into Kuon here from GP. Okay, so the Geno comes out. Geno, of course, gets to attack twice without taking damage. And is going to clear out, but... what is Void going to do now? No more Super Evolve on the Kuon, so... cannot go for a lethal setup here with the Kuon, but probably still going to go for a big burst here. Now, I'm not sure that you go for the big Kuon here, because now you do need this Dimension Climb to hit. Whereas if you go for the smaller Kuon, you're guaranteed to clear. Okay, so... the Norman drawn, Anne and Greya draw, William drawn. All pretty good draws here for Void. And that, now I think we're really seeing the Samurai being used, going to really hurt ChiPy here. This 13-13 ward is absolutely massive. Pascal's Dance to buff, and what will... but one Super Evo is remaining here. Oh, the Gildaria off the top is actually insane here, I think. Gildaria into Zirconia, right? Like, I think that's the play. That should full clear. Oh, really? Amelia into Gildaria? I think they're calculating, but Gildaria is a full clear, right? Have we made a blunder here? I guess this still works with the Amelia Super Evolve. But is it better? By Super Evolving Amelia here, it doesn't full clear now, right? Yeah, I think I like the Zirconia, but I mean, drawing cards is important, so maybe that's okay. Oh, wait. Interesting choice to leave the Kuon instead of the William. The William is higher stat total. No Evos left means Kuon on board doesn't actually do anything. And we're going to see how Void responds to this because, I mean, he has another William in hand, right? So, like, that's never going to be a great difficulty. And, in fact, second William comes out here. Yeah. But the Amelia draw is nice. So, Valst is not clear here. Amelia again, draw first, okay. Dogs is a clear, but not particularly, I guess it's fine. But I think at this point, it's gonna be a bit harder being Sword, like, but I guess at the same time, Rune is close to running out of gas. With only 10 cards left in deck as well, will we see the draw 3 cards mode here from Norman? We will. At a fairly healthy life total here for Void. Going to Witch's New Brew. 6 cards left in deck, but with the Cocytus in hand, I don't think Void has the time to boast up another declimb here, though, so that's going to just be a hard-played Cocytus to try to avoid decking out. Burgent, of course, notably also not evolved for Void this game, so no Crest there. Alright, back over here to ChiPy. It does get a turn to attack, but the board is not cleared out. What are some options here? The Albert can go face for... like, if we just go full face Albert here, that is going to be a total of 10 damage. I'm actually going to choose to go for wards instead. I'm not sure about this. Knocks Void down to 14. I think that's every Sagelight Teachings out from Void. Oh, maybe this is good. I mean, Anne and Greya out from Void. Ah, yes. Wait, does Anne and Greya have an interaction with Amelia? Or Norman? Oh, probably Norman, right? I don't know, actually. Okay. So, Flames of Chaos and Stormy Blast here. I'm gonna use the Demon Call first. Notably, though... okay, this is something that can be... yeah. The board space is actually kind of awkward here for Void, but I think Void will secure this board clear here, probably leaving the Magus again. Pushes ChiPy down to 8, and now we're back to Sword here. And it's getting harder and harder for the Sword player to clear, and yeah, the Zirconia ends up stuck in hand. I mean, so we also have an Amelia in hand that we're not using, so I think we're gonna see this Rune deck probably close it out here. Albert is not lethal, so we might see what I like to call the Troubert here. And in fact, I think Albert will poke face for 3 and then use the second attack to trade into Norman. And Magus will trade to clear. That is not the best way to use your Albert, but that will give Void a free turn to drop Cocytus. And yeah, I mean, that's the corner fully turned, right? Although this Albert draw is not good enough. So I think that will be it for game 1 in ChiPy versus Void, right? The Rune deck just getting that Dimension Climb to get a free turn eventually. Just overwhelming pressure, whereas Sword is kind of limited to, but maybe I spoke too soon? Gildaria is in fact a clear here. That is a very timely draw, which will also knock Void down to... so we're gonna see what Void draws here. Is it going to be the Demon of Purgatory? That is good for a clear, I believe. Is it? It's not. It is, right? You choose the 2 taller followers. Yeah, oh, Burgent first? Sure. I guess that'll work. Knock things down to, yeah, now the Demon of Purgatory, and now the 10 health here. But 2 health here for ChiPy. The Centaur Centurion is just a little too weak to clear this. Albert cannot go for a full turn of face trading here either. And I think that will lock it up for EMT Void after this grinder of a game. Yeah, I mean, Rune just showing that, like, mixing in free spells with the power hitters that we have in this set is really paying off. Alrighty, and yeah, so like ChiPy here is just gonna take their time thinking about what to do, but ultimately this is a clear, but there are 4 cards that aren't lethal here, and that was not one of them. Yeah. And honestly, let's say that we draw the Servant here. You go Norman, make the Barrier Ward, or heal, either way. And then you play Servant of Cocytus, right? And it's also turbo winning. The Astaroth's Reckoning, ironically, is the worst card in there now for EMT Void. And that was game 1. No wonder these route matches are going to a very late time. And we're going to see... Okay, so this is going to be a Seraph-based control Wardhaven. And this is a Cocytus. I've seen Cocytus in Wardhaven more often. I mean, one of the things I do to Wardhaven opponents in my experience is actually deck them out, and so the Cocytus does matter. And I think this is going to be pretty advantageous for Void. Oh yeah, I forgot to hit the ready button. Silly me. Me yapping away and forgetting how the lobby works now. Okay. So... gonna get a quick review of the mulligans. Okay, so we're gonna get a Wardhaven Mirror. Turn 1 passed here from ChiPy. Serene Sanctuary on turn 1 for Void, and I think Void does have... Both of these decks have some degree of inevitability, but I do believe most Haven decks are packing the Banishes. However, you can use Aether to give... I mean, depending on the turn, you can use Aether to give Seraph Aura, which will keep her from being banished. Okay, so Grimnir with Sarissa behind him. But I think both players are now going to drop a Grimnir. The Sarissa is going to get stronger than the Angelic Maid. But I think... I'm not sure if Sarissa will live long enough here. Still a lot of wards in hand for both players, obviously. Actually, the Divine Guard is just going to be used here to... How does this work? Let's see. Divine Guard. Random enemy follower. Okay. So hoping to snipe the Sarissa. Sarissa doesn't actually matter too much who she attacks into here, if she attacks at all. And the attack here is safer because, yeah, how does one get through this? Okay, the card draw here will give another Divine Guard to Void. Will he hit the 50-50 on the Divine Guard this time? Oh, this is a guaranteed clear with the Evolve and the Divine Guard. This card is crazy, honestly. Okay, so now... The easiest clear for ChiPy will be the Salafa Evolve. Wait. Oh, and okay, so a bit of interruption here. I have autoaim joining me now in the middle of this cast. This is an epic game between two Wardhaven players. Autoaim. One of them has Commentated in his deck. Yeah. I think the bottom player here is running Seraph, and the top player is running Commentated. This is EMT Void on top, and Castromelia ChiPy. I have no idea. ChiPy. Maybe it's like the two Greek letters. No, I don't know. Anyway, ChiPy. Chip Gamma. Chip Gamma. That's true. On the bottom. Yeah. So I do have access to their deck list, and you can see it in the lobby. So as a spectator, yeah. So I've seen Commentated on ladder lately too. I was about to deck out a Wardhaven player, and then he emoted me 3 times and dropped Commentated, and I was like, well, shit, my bad. I posted a screenshot where I decked one out like yesterday. All right, so the vessel set up here for Void now. It is. Do you evolve to push damage here? Is that worth it? No, you just... Oh! I guess the upside to this is that there's a Vessel and a Sanctuary in hand to rewind, but we have to Vessel. We like have to Vessel immediately now. Actually, both players are kind of low in hand, which is kind of crazy. Oh, in fact, speaking of which, evolving the Bell Ringer to just a draw, but Void did, yeah, the Vessel draw and the Aether draw. We're I guess strap ourselves in here. Yeah, and as far as crests go, one player has the Wilbur, and one player does not. Yeah. Oh, the banish on the Wilbert is huge. These are some crazy draws for Chip Gamma, Cheap Y. Chip Gamma is actually goes hard. I wonder if you actually ever tank a turn there to just play this and then play this on another turn, because you have the Olivia in hand. You could go Olivia plus this the next turn, right? Like, and because you have the Vessel, it never gets too far out of hand. Or even honestly, like, if you Vessel and it pops out 2 knights, do you care that much? I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like taking some face damage when you can afford it. But okay, another Aether out here, and this is one of the reasons they deck out so quickly, right? Is because the Aether kind of goes and fetches so many cards. Now, I kind of want to use the Jean here because I think, yeah, especially because our you know, Void has the Wilbert, whereas ChiPy does not. So like Jean is worse for ChiPy, but and this is the other thing that sucks about not putting something on board here right now. But Commentated is kind of a double-edged sword, I think. I don't like this Aether play. I think I want to develop Seraph here. And just super evolve her. And just gamble. It's not the 1 in 10, right? It's Silent Rider's also a thing, so 4 in 10. Yeah, it's 4 in 10. So I think if you're worried about that, then you have to super evolve the Seraph. But I think it's okay to super evolve the Seraph. Yeah. Well, we can't. Yeah. I think that was your opening to Seraph though in this situation, because the Seraph is a consistent source of damage here. Yeah. Now. I mean, the Seraph's just gonna rot away in our hand at this rate. Yeah. Yeah. I think part of playing, if you're Seraph, you just need to face tank a turn to get her down. That's true. If they just maintain board advantage and not get cleared, yeah. As long as their board is not empty, yeah. But I mean, these 13-13s are basically unkillable in this matchup without the vessel. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I think the Kakaitis player is just in a commanding position. Gonna force out the last vessel here. And now, I mean... Yeah, I mean... Yeah. Maybe ChiPy was waiting for the bell ringer to play with Seraph on a critical turn, but I think the best turn to play Seraph was either you risk it on the Kakaitis turn or the turn after, right? The turn after was the best window, or the super evolve there. But I in my opinion that was just the way to win, is to land the Seraph. But yeah, and that is gonna be a 2-0 here for for Void. Unfortunately, you joined this match pretty lately. I think we'll have to wait for the next round. Most of the matches are underway, so that spectating gets a little weird. But yeah, thanks for hopping on for this one. So these are the explanation here, since I'll give you, since I told you, is these are being I'm recording these